Well, y'all, nothing makes me better than a good polling session on NBC, one of the mainstream media issues of, let's just say, leftism. And then all of a sudden, they're too busy trying to destroy Trump that they have to say some very uncomfortable facts around Democrats and how bad they suck. I mean, like, you guys can't make this stuff up. Everything's going to be linked in the description box below. I guarantee you're going to enjoy this one because we're going to go into the confines of NBC to see what's going on inside their little brain folds. And I guarantee you, pure joy. All right, guys, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on. We are grinding towards this freedom every single day, saving our country, as it were, by engaging these pesky lefties on the battlefield of propaganda, and we will win. Everything linked in the description box below. All right, you guys see where you can follow me on X, at Braden LOA. Let's just get right into this. I want to make sure you guys know that I now have a date of when this shirt that we have as a limited time design launched is going to be ending on Friday, this coming Friday. So if you want to get the limited time design shirt, the first one of the Hell's Parka announcement store, when we opened and had the grand opening of Hell Freezing, this would be the time. You got men's shirts, women's shirts. We've got free shipping on orders over $50. We've got site discounts for members. We've got all sorts of stuff. But again, it funds the channel. You get to kick a lefty right in the shins when you wear it and basically scratch their corneas because you know they can't contain themselves. And you get to support the channel. That's it. Link in the description box below. I cannot wait to get these shirts to you guys and see them in the wild. But now, let's get to why you actually clicked here. Okay. We're about to dive into Steve Kornacki on NBC News. Y'all, I want you to listen to this. The first 30 seconds is a Trump bash fest. After that, it goes downhill, and it goes downhill rapidly for Team Democrat. Watch this.
NBC News Chief Data Analyst Steve Kornacki is here to break down the results of our latest NBC News poll. Steve, some big takeaways here.
Absolutely, Kristen. I mean, let's start with the headline. Where does Donald Trump stand heading into this midterm year here? A 44% approval rating for the president. Not far off where he was when we last checked in. But I think for Trump here in his first term, that 2018 midterm, this is almost exactly where he was at that point, too. Of course, there was a 40-seat Democratic landslide that year. Democrats took back the House. Also, what is driving the low number for Trump? It continues to be the economy. Look at this, Kristen, asking folks, do you approve of how the president has handled inflation, cost of living specifically? 36% approved, 62% disapproved. That's down a year ago. It was 42-55. It's twice as bad now for him.
Steve, that's a big dip on a critical issue for this midterm election.
Absolutely, Kristen. Voters continue to say this one is of pretty central importance to them. And then also, are they feeling it? Have Trump's policies helped or hurt? Almost 50% they're saying they have hurt. A majority of independents saying the same thing. We checked in the president on some other issues here. Immigration now, 44% approval. But this is interesting. We also...
Okay. So you got the beat up Trump segment out of the way right in front. You got to lead with that, right? But then it starts to take an interesting little turn. Because now you start to see some things that wouldn't make a whole lot of sense if you have a leftist worldview. But it does make a whole lot of sense if you have a little bit of observational skills. Here we go. Same people, no stopping. Let's go.
Asked not immigration. We asked border security. And when you put it that way, it is different. 53% majority approve of the president. There, almost 1 in 10 voters have this split opinion, disapprove immigration, approve on border security. And I think this spills over to broader attitudes about immigration, these high profile incidents. Minnesota, look at this. ICE, a positive rating of only 38% for ICE. Does that mean the country's getting more dovish on immigration? Not necessarily, because when you ask about sanctuary cities, look at that. 33-43, also very negative there. So
okay, this is where the entire thing falls apart, and I'm going to draw some conclusions for you right here. You can tell me what you think in the comments and the chats below. How is it possible that you have this kind of conflicting data, right? It doesn't make a whole lot of sense because things that go together very, very well aren't, right? Let me back this up a little bit. Again, this is why I pay such close attention to these things. Okay? How can you have a positive view on Trump for immigration, like if I back this up a little bit, right here, positive approval on, negative approval on immigration according to NBC, but positive approval on border security. How does that work? How does that happen? How can you be above 50% on border security, but you're below 50% on immigration? Those things are completely linked. How is that even remotely possible? It doesn't seem like it would be, right? All right, now let's keep on trucking. Let me get back to where we were. So I just showed you. People love the border security, or they like the border security. They don't like immigration. That makes no sense. Then you go right over here to ICE. ICE, positive view, 38%, 56%. Okay, that checks. I mean, that's not a big surprise. But then, like right here, people despise sanctuary cities more than they despise ICE. Okay, how can you have President Trump's policies being strong on border, but then also weak on immigration, or weaker on immigration, weak on ICE, but sanctuary cities are even worse? Sanctuary cities are the Democrat mainstay. That is the crown jewel. You get in that, and you get in a Democratic state, in a Democratic city, you're in a sanctuary city. You are immigration free. You are happy-go-lucky. Go team. The American people despise sanctuary cities. This is objectively true. How is that possible? This doesn't make a whole lot of sense, right? Watch this.
Complicated attitudes, I think, on immigration. How about the state of the two parties heading into the midterm, the generic ballot? It's a 6-point advantage here for Democrats. It's a sizable lead for them, although we mentioned 2018, Trump's first term. At this point, it was 10 points for Democrats, so it is a little bit less. And I think what's driving the Democratic advantage now really is heavily this. It's the interest of their own base. We ask folks if they have the highest level of interest in these elections. 3/4 of Democrats are saying they do. Barely 60% of Republicans are. And again, that is a difference, Kristen. When you go back to that first Trump midterm, the gap wasn't as pronounced as it is right now.
Did you catch that? That's an interesting point, because this is all contrasting to the point of March 2018, Donald Trump's first midterm election. This is what it's all about. They're comparing and contrasting, which is what we've done on this channel a lot. Did you notice they didn't bring up the fact that there's actually more interest from Republicans as well from March 2018? They just glossed over that fact. It's no secret Democrats are motivated. They're out of power. That is a standard norm. Also a standard norm is the party in power has complacency issues. That is a normal thing. That's why I always say, vote like you're losing, grind like you're losing, be involved like you're losing, share like you're losing, engage like you're losing. Because if you have more people interested, you're going to have a better chance to get them motivated to do so. Republicans being at 61% versus Democrats at 74% is a disparity. However, there's been an increase in Republicans the same way there's been an increase in Democrats. Everyone's paying more attention. But again, they gloss over that. So how can you be in this position, which is also equally bad? Wait, right there. Nope, not that. Hold on. No, dang it. Sorry, I'm doing this wrong. There we go. You notice that there's a difference and a disparity in the 2018 again? Nothing's really that crazy. Except the Republicans are higher by 4 points. How is that possible? Again, you guys are seeing all these things. They're just letting out. They're sneaking out of the bag. Right. Let's get into what I want to show you right here. This is, again, that interest of the parties. Watch what happens when they show you how despised the Democrats are. Watch this.
Back to that first Trump midterm, the gap wasn't as pronounced as it is right now. This, though, as well, the image of the parties getting outside the base here, what do all voters think? Look at this. Republicans are not that popular. Democrats, though, even more unpopular than Republicans.
Well, this is so significant because even though they have an enthusiasm advantage, they clearly have an image issue.
That's it. And that gets to the question, too, then. How do voters look at these two parties when it comes to the major issues here? So Democrats do have this advantage. When you ask about threats to democracy, that's an 11-point advantage for Democrats there. Democratic voters say that's their top issue. Republican voters say that border security, immigration, more important to them. Big Republican advantages. But, Kristen, this will be it. Yeah. It's the economy. It's a tie between the parties. Republicans have had the advantage on this issue for nearly a decade. Now it's wiped away. Wow. Question going forward, did Democrats actually open an advantage on the economy? That could be key to them if they are going to have a big midterm.
Okay, this is one of the most important parts of everything I just showed you. Okay, Democrats are depressed from their prior advantages in 2018. They have a higher turnout advantage, but they still hate the Democrats in general. Democrats are less liked than the Republicans are, and the Republicans are in power. That is real bad. When you look at the issues of what they're showing you right here, the only thing that the Democrats care about and have is the threat to democracy. That's TDS. That's TDS showing up. Everyone else is voting on border security, immigration, and the economy. The three things that Republicans are either winning on or are tied on are the top three issues in the United States, basically like hierarchy of I care or not. No one cares about the threats to democracy in the rest of the world. The TDS realm does, but no one else does. This is the entire point of what I'm trying to bring home to you. The Democrats are trying to paint a picture that everyone loves them and they are the alternative and everyone hates Donald Trump. The fact is they are more despised than Republicans are. They have more motivation for the voters to vote, but the gap is smaller than it was in 2018. They have a congressional ballot advantage of 6 points. That is less than in 2018. Again, all of these things I'm showing you are all anecdotal data points that are quite literally pointing towards something that is not what the left is telling you. And that's why I show you. Everything will be linked in the description box below. I cannot wait to hear what you guys think. And of course, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, turn the notification bell on, and I will see you on the next one. I'm Braden.